Hey guys, we're back for another episode of Bride TV, and I've got the amazing Steph with me from Santalia Bridal Couture Dresses. How are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. 2020 has started and it's been really, really good. So I'd like to get the viewers out there so they actually know a little bit about your history and your background. How do you get into designing bridal gowns and couture dresses, and where the idea came from and where you actually wanted to start from with this?
Sure thing. So, going to the beginning of that question, I started Santalia in 2014 and we opened our first studio right at the beginning of 2015 back in Leichhardt.
Nice.
little tiny studio, and now we're located in Petersham and we've got a beautiful workspace and big showroom. I studied fashion at UTS.
Beautiful.
I did the honours degree, and I actually worked in the industry doing commercial fashion, and funnily enough, I don't tell anyone this, one of my first jobs was actually designing for the Kardashian collection label. So I've had a really diverse experience coming from a commercial and really structured degree to going on to bridal couture. But I started it because I really did feel like there was a niche that wasn't being fulfilled. We do bridal couture that has a focus on fit and a focus on quality with traditional techniques, but for the modern bride.
Beautiful.
So it has a more laid back feel, and that was my intention, to sort of bring that concept into the ring, because there's so much going on here.
There is, yeah.
New South Wales bridal, it's out of control, but we have our little pocket that we work really closely with our brides and focus on our brides.
Beautiful. So where would you say that you draw a lot of your inspiration? Because the thing is, I know a girl might come to you and she's got different mood boards of like, this is the design I'm sort of thinking of. And then obviously I'm sure you would sketch something up similar, different. What sort of, where do you sort of draw your inspiration to, change it or shape it into her form and everything?
I honestly use firstly the bride as my muse. So I try to get a feel for what they're about, what they do in their everyday. A lot of my girls are like killer business girls, like have their own stuff going on.
Nice.
Being a princess bride is not like their first thing.
Yes.
So I'll learn all about them, ask them what they do, what they love, what they wear every day, what sort of shapes they enjoy wearing. So that's a really big part of it. But the sort of signature look and the thing that's most true to me is just having that essence of like a free spirit, being able to dance, being able to really enjoy the day, and definitely like a European vintage vibe, like the Sophia Loren, Audrey Hepburns of our time. Like I love that really sort of almost screen siren feel, but kind of take it back to the real world so we can all move in them and still feel like yourself.
For sure.
So it's probably like my main inspo. And when I talk to the girls in the design consultations, it'll go for a good 45 minutes and we try on shapes and get a feel for their body shape, what's going to suit them best. And then I do a sketch, and usually it's pretty close to what they're envisioning. So it's a really cool process, mostly about getting to know them.
That's so good, because I think it's so important as well, because the dress is such an important element of the day, that they have full trust in you. And that's what's such a nice thing, as you just spoke about, that you have this connection period where you speak about, even their background, where they're from, what they like, what they don't like. And I think that's such a really nice personal touch out there, because I'm sure a lot of people out there, it would be a designer would, let's say, be there, and then the client comes in and it'd be like the designer's way, it's the only way, and I'm sure there might be a lot of people out there, but it sounds like you've grown this amazing company and you have such a personal approach to people, and that's why people keep on coming back to you, which is so nice.
I think that the essence of it for me is they already know, the girls know when they've booked a consultation with me what the whole vibe is. Like, they understand our aesthetic. I'm pretty diligent with my social media, what we post. It's all reflected into our photo shoots that we create and what's on our website, everything is really coherent and there's that message. So if they've come to me, they already know that. I don't need to force it down their throats. I just know that they want me to kind of guide them a little bit and show them what the possibilities could be, but then I need to build that rapport so that they can trust me.
Yes.
And over time, sometimes you'll see a lining will come out, or a little frill will be added, or something that they didn't think they would go to, but it's not from the get-go. When they first meet me, I'm not going to be like, oh, here, totally break down all those walls and only think about me. It's actually not about me, it's about them and creating this amazing memory.
Of course.
And that's why I actually do bridal, because I'm doing something that's meaningful for someone else, and I get to be a part of that story.
Yeah.
It's really cool to me.
It's so nice. I think another thing would be nice for girls to know out there is that what's the sort of time frame that they would come to you, because I'm sure you probably have people when they're 3 months out before their wedding, they might hit you up with an email, or it could be 2 years, I'm not too sure, but it'd be nice just to let know girls out there this is a really good time frame to come in and be like, okay, we can do start to finish and have a couple more fittings. So
I definitely like to have 10 months. I recommend coming to see us about 15 to 12 months out, when you have an idea. Maybe you've tried on some shapes, what you're thinking you might go with, but have that sit down with me, let me sketch something out, propose my ideas, and then get it locked in.
Nice.
Sort of at that 12-month, 10-month mark. Anything tighter than that can restrict some of the possibilities with fabrications.
Of course.
Because we order fabrics from all over the world and sort of create even our unique fabrics from scratch. We need time, and if you want a lot of options, give us time.
Exactly.
We have helped out people before in that shorter time frame, but you'll have to choose things that are in stock when it comes to fabrics.
Exactly.
And, maybe choose a simpler design. So just so you don't have to compromise, and also pending that we have the availability in that month to create something.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you'd say from 2019 to 2020 that's sort of trending in the couture bridal scene at the moment? Because I've spoken to people and they say these sort of the small little things are trending at the moment, and I'm sure you get brides coming in and they say we're seeing this little bit of a trend at the moment. What would you say, or people are more heading towards for 2020 looks?
I think that 2019 was all about the 3D flowers.
Yes.
In fabric choices, we had a lot of very intricate mixed textures and that sort of thing, which I think will still remain because it's very feminine and it's also true to our aesthetic.
Yep.
However, I'm doing a lot more custom beading this year. So I don't know, 2020, maybe it's inspired by the 20s, but we've got a lot of that intricate beadwork, a lot of sort of silvery tones. I'm seeing a little bit more ball gown action, but in our way, of course, without all the petticoats and the stuff. But that fuller silhouette is coming back.
Beautiful.
For me, I think that's my top trends, and not to mention we have always done this. We make bridal separates, where we will have a bodice and a skirt, and then you can swap out to a pant, or wear your bodice for your first anniversary with a pencil skirt. Like, we do a lot of that sort of thing.
Nice.
And it's becoming more and more popular. I think my brides love the versatility of being able to swap their look and sort of
beautiful
customize their look to that point where they can even get changed into pants for their first dance.
That's so like cool. That. I really, really like that.
Yeah.
I think another little thing, what inspires you every single day to do what you do? Because everyone's different out there, and you get to go to your job and you love it so much, you know. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there that they go to work and that, they go, oh, it's a Monday, I have to go to work.
Yeah.
So, what are some small things that inspire you to keep pushing yourself, keep pushing your company, striving for better things over and over again?
I think I like pain, firstly, something like that. But in all seriousness, when I get to work, I see my girls, I'm in my space. I'm just truly so blessed that I do get to do what I love every day. Being a mum, I'm always driven to create an amazing legacy for my son. I want to create a true company and a brand and show him that, you know, your mum can be strong and your mum can succeed. And he comes to work with me sometimes, and nice. He hugs all the girls and walks around, so he definitely inspires me. But I don't know, I just have this thing inside that, you know, many times I've been like, let's just close the door and walk away, like this is so hard, it takes so many years to make money, you know, why? But I truly love it. Every time my girls, my brides, put on their dress at their final fitting and they love it and they cry, I still cry, and it's like 400 dresses later or something crazy like that. Like I'm not over it. I don't think I ever will be.
I think you summed that up personally, because seeing that other person's reaction to what you've created, it's just something inside you that feels so nice. It's the same for me when I take photos and someone comes back to me like, that's the shot, like I just love it. It's just summed up our day. You know, me and my partner, we love it so much, and it's the exact same for you, you know, when the bride cries, and it's just like that, it really hits you inside, that emotional feeling. And I think that's such a nice thing for people to see, you know.
It makes you feel like what you do is not just a superficial, fluffy kind of job. You know, because sometimes people can label design, even photography, we're creatives, so what we do, you know, to some non-creatives, it's like finger paint all day. But we have jobs that are actually making a difference to someone, and, you know, their wedding day might be one time in their whole life that they get married, and this memory stays with them forever. And, you know, we're doing something that isn't going to just fade away or get thrown in the bin, or, you know, especially for me being in the fashion industry and having that commercial background, I've seen how disgraceful our industry can be. I've advised past clients when I used to create commercial wear, if you cut the dress like this and you do the 20,000 units, there's going to be more than 20% fabric loss. We're talking like thousands and thousands of meters of fabric just thrown in the bin. And that's nuts to me. So having this one-on-one slow approach, this sort of custom bespoke way of doing things, we are also able to be sustainable as well.
I love that. That's really good.
Thank you. We have less than a quarter of a wheelie bin of rubbish, literally. That's so good. Per fortnight. Everything else is recycled. We reuse the fabric toiles to create other toiles until they get into little tiny pieces, and if I can't do anything with them, then they go in the bin. Like, it just, we need to return to these more meaningful ways of doing things. And even in your job every day, you need to love it. You need to do things that are important and make them important and care about the world. I don't know, I sound like a hippie.
No. I totally agree. I can't agree more with you. All those points you just popped out, it was really, really nice to hear that from your background, which is really nice. Is there one small thing that you would maybe like to leave all the viewers with, all the girls out there, that could help them a little bit more on their day, that they might not know about, you know, couture dresses or yourself or anything like that? Because I know there's so many girls out there, they might have heard something and then they might not even have thought of something, you know, like, is there anything small or big or?
I think, sounds crazy because I really care about aesthetics, but you need to be comfortable on your wedding day.
I really like that.
It makes a massive difference to how your day goes. If you're feeling like you can't sit, or the dress you can't breathe in, or something like that, it will actually impact your day. I always advise fabrics that can move. You know, sometimes we use blends that have lycra in them for the base. I know a lot of people will talk about using silks and it sounds super luxurious, and it is, it's beautiful, but creasing and you know, crushing and all of that stuff, I'm not about creating an Instagram moment. I'm about creating an amazing day. And I want my brides to look good, whether they get in a helicopter, which, trust me, a couple of my brides have, or they're walking through the snow, or they're jumping in a bloody pool. Like, what they do to my dresses, I don't know, it's kind of scary, but I want them to last the day.
Yeah.
And for them to just trust me on my advice when I say, let's look at these fabrics, because I think that's something that you don't know. And sometimes the mums will be like, oh, polyester. And I'm like, do you want it to crush?
Yeah.
You know, so that's my advice. Just when it comes to the process with any part of your vendor list, really choose your people carefully, but then once you have and you know they're good people, trust them, take their advice, because you will have we know, you know, you've done this for a long time, I've done this for a long time, you'll have a great day, because we all want to do the best job that we can do.
Of course.
And if you've chosen the right people, their intentions will be that they can give you such a great experience, and not just create like that one moment in their showroom photo of your dress, and it goes viral, but it doesn't actually look good on the day.
That's such a really good point, because I remember at a wedding one time I was shooting, and the bride actually never sat down in her dress. And it's as basic as that, you know. And you said, you know, being comfortable, feeling within, you know, how could you not sit down on your dress? Because later on in the evening you'll be sitting down, you know what I mean? Can you actually physically sit down? That's the thing, like, you might shape it, someone might shape it perfectly.
And it looks amazing standing up. I'm sure it does. I think sometimes the brides, I'm not going to blame the brides, but can be a little bit forceful with, I don't care, just make it tighter, make it tighter. And that's why I'm saying, just trust that we know.
Exactly.
And you will want to dance with your partner.
You want to move.
You will want to bend over. You will want to move. Like, that's just life. And saying you don't care is not true, because on the day you will care. And then you'll think, Steph, she was right.
Exactly right, because as you said, you've done, you know, over 400 dresses. You know, and those 400 brides might have said the exact same thing, like, you know, so that's such an important one.
But I'm so lucky, because my clients, generally the majority of them, they trust me, and that's why they've come to me, so I don't really have that problem, but that's my advice anyway.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Well, I really appreciate your time today, and I hope all the viewers got as much information. I know I got so much information out of this interview.
Thank you.
But I'm going to be dropping all Steph's details on all the videos below, and make sure you check out her work. She's doing some stunning work, but thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.